authority. But Imran's lawyers have been denied access to meet him for the last 3 weeks. Now, Khan's sisters Noreen Khan, Aleema Khan and Uzma Khan rushed to Adiala Jail seeking proof that the Khan remained alive. Earlier, Aleema Khan led a protest outside the jail saying that she would not leave until she was allowed to meet her brother. But the question is as to why the Pakistan government is so insecure with Imran Khan. Does Imran Khan still hold sway over the Pakistani masses? Fact is that the Pakistan has become a de facto dictatorship with Asim Munir firmly in power for next 5 years. So what makes Imran Khan tick? A guy who used to be the poster boy of the army? Imran Khan's party did not contest election, but people associated with his party won big time. He comes across as the least compromised politician in contrast with the Bhuttos and Sharifs. They look more politically tamed and compromised than him. And now he is seen as sole political dissent in the Pakistani politics that has capitulated before Asim Munir and enjoys the support of the conservatives. I will not waste time here. I am joined by Zulkarnain Tahir, political correspondent, Dawn newspaper, and Ambassador Veena Sikri. With me, I will straight away go to Mr. Zulkarnain Tahir, who joins me from Lahore. Thank you so much, sir. What makes Imran Khan take so much, even while he is in the prison, sir?
Yeah, for the last at least 3 years since Imran was ousted, all the politics surrounded him here. He's been practically tamed. He's been put in the prison. But every day,
popular हैं. आप बताइए ताहिर, अभी भी popular हैं.
Imran Khan is still popular. There's no question about it.
तो ये क्या हुआ था? आप जरा बताएंगे हुआ क्या था जेल के सामने? ये इतनी रूमर्स क्यों उड़ी, लोग क्यों आए, हुआ क्या था?
सिंपल एज दिस, फॉर द लास्ट 1 महीने से अलाउ नहीं किया गवर्नमेंट ने कि इमरान खान से कोई भी मिल पाए, उनकी फैमिली, उनके लॉयर्स, उनकी पार्टी लीडर्स. इवन टुडे चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ खैबर पख्तूनख्वा विजिटेड हिम ऑन द 8th time, and on that 8th consecutive time he was denied meeting with Imran Khan by the jail authorities. और दूसरी जानिब गवर्नमेंट अभी तक कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं दे सकी कि 1 माह से why it is refusing Imran or denying Imran's meeting. There is no simple word from the government except the jail authorities. Today's statement that Imran is fine in the jail and he is not being transferred to any other jail. And there is nothing from the government side, from the jail authority side, except these 2 lines. तो एक सारी रूमर्स तो फिर इस तरह से आनी थी, ये स्पेकुलेशन तो होनी थी.
Ambassador Veena Sikri, what do you think has happened in the last 48 hours? Because the news came from Afghanistan Times and there was a handle from the Baluchistan, the government in exile. So what's the big picture? I know there are a lot of narratives in play here, but what is the picture that emerges? Because Asim Munir is like completely settled.
Well, I think the only thing is, the one word that Asim Munir is scared of is democracy. So, the one thing that he does not want is any democratic or popular uprising against him. And today, Imran Khan, as you said, is the only person around whom there is a popular uprising, whose supporters are still very keen on his return to political activity, both within Pakistan and abroad. A lot of the Pakistani diaspora is supporting Imran Khan. And so because of these reasons, he is seen as the one last standing opposition to Asim Munir's dictatorial takeover of Pakistan society and of Pakistan's constitution and of Pakistan's leadership. We've seen how this 27th Amendment has given Asim Munir such sweeping powers, not only over all other branches of the defense forces other than the army, the navy, air force and all other branches, but also over political life. So he is like a dictator for life, as it were, almost. And I'm amazed that the Western countries are allowing this to continue to go through, because in earlier years, the West position always was that in either Pakistan, Bangladesh or anywhere else, if there is an increase of authoritarian authority, if there's an increase of dictatorship, a lack of democracy, then these countries will not be allowed to participate in UN peacekeeping forces. And we know that UN peacekeeping UN peacekeeping forces participation is extremely lucrative, and the soldiers and officers of the armies of Bangladesh, of Pakistan are very keen. But this threat has evaporated. So now that this 27th amendment has come through, we find that there is no talk even that why has this dictatorial rule come in Pakistan? Why is democracy being further eviscerated in Pakistan? And this is a very important question, as you know, that the Bhuttos and Nawaz Sharif and his family and his brother, they've all given in. They are all just stooges of the army.
Let me take this question to Zulkarnain. Zulkarnain, do you think is it a storm in a teacup और द लार्जेस्ट सिमरिंग इन द पाकिस्तानी सोसाइटी? मतलब ये ब्रॉड क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, आपको लगता है कि कोई डेमोक्रेटिक फिगर बड़ा आ सकता है सीन में जैसे इमरान खान है, या इमरान खान के ही अड़ोस पड़ोस सारा पॉलिटिक्स अभी घूमेगा? क्योंकि डिसेंट उधर ही जा रहा है. शरीफ्स एंड भुट्टोज एंड जरदारी, उनको तो माना जाता है कि दे हैव गिवन इन, कैपिचुलेटेड.
यस ऑफ कोर्स. देखें, शरीफ्स और जो भुट्टो है, इनका जो टेम सरेंडर है, बिल्कुल मीक सरेंडर रादर आई वुड से, इसने हर एक को ही सरप्राइज कर दिया है. मतलब इनकी तरफ से कोई रेजिस्टेंस नहीं. इवन टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस 27th अमेंडमेंट, जिसमें जुडिशरी को बिल्कुल कंट्रोल कर लिया गया. मजीद पावर जो है एस्टेब्लिशमेंट को दे दी गई. और even so much so, the Field Marshal General Asim Munir is here as Chief of Defence Forces for till November 2030. मजीद 5 साल वो भी रहेंगे. तो मतलब डिसेंट की वॉइस तो सिर्फ इमरान खान ही इस टाइम है, या अपोजिंग पार्टी, जो मुसलसल एक तरह की चलता रहा कि परहैप्स एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम कोई एग्रीमेंट शायद हो जाएगा विद द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ इमरान खान, लेकिन वो नहीं हुआ. और दूसरी जानिब हम ये देख रहे हैं, फॉर द लास्ट 3 years उनकी पार्टी को पूरी तरह से क्रश किया गया. और जितनी भी अदरवाइज डिसेंटिंग वॉइसेस हैं, जो कि चाहे आप उनको इन टर्म्स कह लें कि वो इतनी इमरान के साथ नहीं भी थी, इन दैट वे जिन्होंने भी पूरे सिस्टम के खिलाफ आवाज उठाई, उनको इन लिटरली क्रश किया गया. तो टोटल पिक्चर इस टाइम जो है, जो एक पॉलिटिकल फेस रिक्वायर्ड था एस्टैब्लिशमेंट को, वो इन द फॉर्म ऑफ शरीफ्स एंड द भुट्टोस, उन्होंने उसको प्रोवाइड किया है एस्टैब्लिशमेंट को. और बड़ी स्मूथ सेलिंग चल रही है.
एक चीज बताइए, सबको पता है कि पाकिस्तान में जनरल्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट, उसमें कोई छुपी बात नहीं है, लेकिन जिस तरीके से पाकिस्तान के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस में अमेंडमेंट हुए हैं और जिस तरीके से एक आसिम मुनीर ने अपने आप को कंसोलिडेट किया, आपको लगता है कि पाकिस्तान कभी दोबारा से इसको अमेंड कर पाएगा? ये जो पावर फौज की तरफ पूरी चली गई है, वो आपकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के पास वापस आ पाएगी?
आज की डेट में तो ये बहुत मुश्किल लग रहा है, नियर टू इम्पॉसिबल लग रहा है जिस तरह से चीजें जा रही हैं. क्योंकि ये उसी वक्त मुमकिन हो पाएगा जब तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज जो है इस चीज पे कन्विंस्ड हो कि हमसे जो कुछ छीना गया है, या हमारी जो पॉलिटिकल स्पेस है जिसके ऊपर किसी और ने कब्जा कर लिया है, हम सबको यूनाइट होना चाहिए और एक चार्टर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी का एक नया एग्रीमेंट करना चाहिए उमंग ऑल द पॉलिटिकल प्लेयर्स. फिर शायद कोई इस तरफ कोई स्टेप बढ़े. लेकिन लगता यही है कि पाकिस्तान की बाकी जो 2 बड़ी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज थी, PML नून लेड बाय द शरीफ फैमिली, पीपल्स पार्टी लेड बाय आसम जरदारी एंड बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी, इन्होंने सरेंडर कर दिया है कंप्लीट. और इस चीज पे दे एग्रीड कि इफ यू कांट बीट देम, जॉइन देम. सो दे हैव जॉइंड देम.
Ambassador Sikri, very well put by Tahir, and I'll take a closing comment from you. Is this what has happened in Pakistan? They couldn't beat them, so they joined them, and that is why Imran has remained the last guy who's in jail. So people think that he's the only guy.
No, he is the last guy standing in favor of democracy, in favor of democratic rule, no doubt about that. But I think that we have to also recognize that the Bhuttos and the Zardaris and the Sharif, they had already given in. They had already given in, because the way in which the government was formed after Imran Khan's government was dismissed, and the way in which the elections were held, it was coming together. So you have Zardari as the president, you have Shahbaz Sharif as the prime minister, and they've sort of got their fruits of office, and they are enjoying that in all due comfort. And Imran Khan is the only one who can present a democratic threat. But I think all in all, internally, I think the problems within Pakistan remain. The dissatisfaction of the people remains, the poor economic situation remains, the poverty remains, the distress remains. All that is there. And all that the Pakistan government is doing is supporting terrorist groups and sending now these terrorist groups, the Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, they're sending them now to Pakistan, to Bangladesh, and opening another arm of their government in Bangladesh and trying to embed themselves with every institution in Bangladesh. It is the democratic, so-called democratic loving forces of the world, particularly in the West, who need to speak up on this. They used to speak up on this very clearly, but they don't. They're being completely hypocritical. Now, for example, even today, as we speak, there's an election in Myanmar and there's an election in Bangladesh. The Myanmar election is being condemned. The Bangladesh election is being welcomed. Actually, the situation is reversed, because in Myanmar, people are being released, prisoners are being released, freedom is coming. And here, it is the complete opposite. So this kind of emasculation of democracy does not bode well for regional security and stability in South Asia. And India has to be very, very careful about this, because it really shows that the security situation for India is steadily worsening in our neighborhood.
Absolutely. Thank you both of you for joining me. I've really run short of time, so this was on point 2. But don't go away, because after the break there is an on point 3, and it is about India and France collaborating to produce the Hammer defense system in country.
Red Fort explosion. Let's get you all the updates. Following the blast, there is of course a South Indian connection of Dr. Shaheen Shahid, because this is news of national import that search operations are underway across the entire Al Falah University campus. The blast killed 12 people. Prices, however, of Nandini ghee have been hiked. KMF has defended Nandini is the brand. I've been getting a lot of queries on my phone. What's for the people of Karnataka? Okay, you can play tennis as much as you want to, but I am the umpire and I will say please. There is an eyeball to eyeball confrontation. Where is this going? What is the way out? The farmers, they can actually shake a nation. Both of you down, because I can also shout Prashantji.
Under a major defense deal, the French Hammer missile, which was used during Operation Sindhu, will now be made in India. Bharat Electronics Limited and Safran Electronics and Defense of France have joined a joint venture agreement to manufacture the highly agile modular munition extended range, or Hammer, smart precision air-to-ground weapon in India. The development is crucial because India previously ordered the weapon system from France to equip Rafale fighter jets through the emergency procurement route in 2020 during the standoff with China in eastern Ladakh. There were subsequent plans to procure more of these weapon systems through armed Rafale jets and the indigenously made LCA aircraft. Now let's decode the Hammer weapon system. It is a medium-range smart strike munition designed to go deep inside ground bunkers and reinforced structures. The system has a range of 70 kilometers, enabling fighter jets to launch the weapon from outside the engagement envelope of enemy air defense systems. Its modular design supports multiple payloads, autonomous resistance to jamming. It can be fitted with multiple bomb sizes, including 125 kg, 250 kg, 500 kg and 1000 kg. Hammer can be fired from low altitudes and over complex terrain. Now let me straight away go to Air Marshal VPS Rana. Sir, can you just describe Hammer to us? How does it work? Why is it important for us in post-Sindoor world?
Thank you, Karthikeyan. Everybody knows that Hammer did a very, very wonderful job during Op Sindoor. But what primarily Hammer is a guidance kit to the existing bombs. It's a smart kit with a guidance, with the control fins, which can carry any, or which can convert any of the existing bombs into a smart bomb. If you recollect, during Kargil war, we were facing this problem of delivery into mountainous terrain, and we had quickly, we quickly procured something known as the lightning kit from Israel, which primarily was on the similar line. And that was the only thing which changed the entire dynamics of the war in Kargil war, because that facilitated us to do the laser guided bombing from
Basically, sir, hammer is a transformative kit. It's a kit which transforms a missile.
Absolutely. It's an existing bomb. It can be fitted, wrapped on, bolted on onto existing bombs, which otherwise are dumb bombs, which are otherwise not smart bombs. That means they would basically glide and fall to a place with their trajectory. But the moment you have the smart kit like hammer wrapped on, then it becomes a very, very precisely deliverable weapons, which we have seen during Op Sindoor. It is hitting the command control centers, hitting those deep bunkers, and very, very effective in that precision guided attack. So that is what the hammer does. It is many notches better than what we used during the war in Kargil. In Kargil, of course.
Can we say, sir, for our viewers, that hammer is a cheaper alternative to the cruise missile, or like Tomahawks, which the Americans uses?
You can say that, but they are different class of the missiles.
Okay.
Like cruise, of course. When you talk about a cruise missiles, like BrahMos and all, you can fire them from very, very far off distances. Then their delivery and their navigation is also different. They are going at a much lower trajectory, but they are traveling in the air for a much longer time. While the weapon like hammer is basically a small distances in when we are talking about cruise missiles, we are talking about thousands of kilometers in the advanced versions of the cruise missiles. But when you are talking about hammer, it just about takes to about 70 kilometers, and it's designed primarily to do a bunker kind of thing or airfield attacks from the standoff distances. But mind you, now the standoff distances actually now has become a misnomer. We used to say standoff, that means you used to be away from the enemy air defenses. But today's air defenses are very smart, whether it is air-to-air missiles or ground-to-air missile, your ranges has far enhanced. They are in kilometers. Well, like we talk about S-400, we are talking about 300 plus kilometers of range. So any aircraft which is wanting to launch a 70-kilometer weapon no more remains very, very safe from the ground defenses, or for that matter, air-to-air missiles. But the fact is, the hammer does give us a tremendous capability to attack these kind of precise attacks where you are wanting to take on those kind of targets the way we took in Op Sindoor, and also for that matter in Kargil. Like today, if we were to do Kargil, we would be in a much better placed delivery envelope than we would have been that time.
So how expensive are these hammer kits? Do they differ? And do you think that hammer kits are the real antidote to the large inventory of the dud bombs, which, for example, we have, or other countries have, which do not have a huge inventory of smart missiles like the Americans have?
So it is primarily converting the dumb bombs into smart bombs. So obviously the price actually does not become this thing, because you are buying only this kit, and thereafter whatever is your inventory with the other bombs that are in your kitty, those become now the smart bombs. So it is basically utilizing that inventory of your bombs with the smart kits like hammer, and making them a really present time comparable to JDAMs and comparable to present generation smart bombs.
So when we say that, sir, hammer is a system which makes dud bombs into smart bombs, what do you think should be the India's trajectory in terms of creating smart bombs, smart missiles? Where do you think we need to go?
See, this is a very good joint venture, so to say. Like any defense industry, our defense industry is really, really looking up. And it is also because one is that we are the biggest importer. That is one reason. And I also see the potential of this in the regional dynamics, that you could also become, if your contracts are likewise concluded, then you could also become a regional supplier for that. So not only that, your own needs will get fulfilled, your supply chain would get shortened. You could also become the exporter, provided that is part of your contract with Safran. So it is a high potential. Your defense industry ecosystem improvises a lot. Needless to say that it provides a lot of know-how. But that would depend on what the kind of transfer of technology is involved. What I get to see that we are looking at almost 60% of this being indigenously developed. A lot of critical subsystems are going to be made in India, and so that gives you a really good ecosystem for a defense industry to grow.
Do you think that this indigenization process has picked up in last 10 years, sir?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we have gone a big way, and it's been a big boost to our defense industries. And like you've said, like you've been covering in all your, the programs recently, there are a lot of interest by the Western companies to do the JVs with us, by the Russian and also like France. Incidentally, France already has been doing with the Bell in terms of the radars and all that. So this is actually a good sign for us that you are doing more on a defense industry level of cooperation, rather than just the government to government, and rather than just buying. So now you are here, you are doing an industrial collaboration, which is a notch higher than just the government to government interactions.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So this is all I had on point today. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. All of you, thank you and good night.
What is speed? Do you ever see it? Or is it something you feel? Speed, it's relative. The more you speed up, the more the world slows down. And when you are fast enough, everything becomes still. That's when you see the world as it truly is. Servo Hypersport F5, when speed is your default.
He is brilliant, लेकिन अक्सर बहुत टायर्ड हो जाता है. मैं क्या करूं?
2 स्पून काफी है. ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए लायन डेट सिरप. इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स और किसी भी बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है. रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं. लायन डेट सिरप रोजाना 2 स्पून.
सर, वाटर प्रूफिंग के लिए बेस्ट.
वेंकी जी, एक छोटा सा गिफ्ट विदलोपस अश्योरेंस देने के लिए.
ऐसा क्या है इसमें?
1 साल में वाटर प्रूफिंग को कुछ भी हुआ तो वापस करके देंगे.
वापस करके देंगे,
वो भी फ्री. पेंटिंग में पहली बार विदलोपस अश्योरेंस. रजिस्टर करो vidloopus.com पर.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है. आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल.